Hey everyone! Hey chat! Happy New Year! Yay! It's a new year! Alright. It's gonna be a good year, you guys. It's gonna be a great year. All our problems will go away. It's gonna be sunshine and rainbows from here on out. I'm sure of it. I know of it. Hey, hi Hannah. Hannah Sabs. What's up, Hannah? Glad you could join. Hey, you and Tom. Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, my chat disappeared. Hey, Terry Newsom. What's up, Terry? Hey, Gabriel. Welcome back. Kuria. Patrick. Alright. Who else is there? Nikki. Losh. Alex. Dee Dee. Katie. Wow. A lot of people. Yeah, I made it. I'm here. Yay. Hope has... is drinking Hokkaido milk tea with flan and freshly baked takoyaki with azuki paste. Man, you always have the best food. Hey, Katie, I did miss you last week. Welcome. B. Flory, what's up? Hey, QP. All right. I have okay. So I got something sent in the mail today. And I haven't opened it yet. So let me do it. Let me do it on stream. How about that? It's a little box. Right. Is my information showing? Or is his information? Okay. The box. I won't show the sender's information. I don't know. It's from a Michael. All right, Michael. Let me get my trusty letter opener here. There it is. Let's see what's in here. You hear that? A little ringing. Oh shit. Thing's sharp. A random comic. I notice you. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Information. Ah! I don't think you can see it though. It's cut. I should have planned this better. Alright, what is this? There's a thank you card. Okay. 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 There's a little... It says, Merry Christmas, you son of a turtle. From Hope. Okay. Let's see. What is in here? Yeah. Come on. It's taped so well. I got it. What is this? Oh my god. You see it? It's a little turtle. It's a little meditating turtle. I love it. Designer stone. All right, a little meditating turtle. What does it say here? Someone read that. Can anyone read that? All right, well, thank you, Hope. This is cool. I'm gonna put it on my shelf. There's a little Buddhist turtle. See, he has some Buddhist beads. Arbington says, if it had just been a roll of tape, I would have been floored. That would be funny. Yeah. Yeah, someone send me just a roll of tape. I will laugh on stream and cry at the same time. Oh, it says long life. All right, you want me to have a long life? Well, thank you so much. I don't think it's Master Oogway. It is a turtle, though. Well, that was cool. I like that. Well, thank you so much. Dun, 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 dun. All right. So what should we do today? Before reading, all right, let's do something fun. Remember like last time there were like 3 words that I didn't know the definitions of. So let's do a challenge for me. If there's a word that I don't know the definition of, then I will sing you guys a karaoke song at the end. All right? For each word that I don't know, I will sing a song. Hopefully it doesn't come up to like 20 words or something. But yeah, let's do that. And you can ask me, you can challenge me in the chat whenever a word comes up and you want me to tell you what it means. And if I can't answer, that's one song. How about that? How about that? That turtle does look chill. All right. Let's hope I'm as smart as I think I am, and I know most of the words. Yeah, but this translator uses a lot of like less well-known words. Uses a lot of obscure words, so let's hope things go well. My singing better be good. Sorry, man. Not gonna be good. But it's gonna be funny. How about that? Now you can't just ask me any word, okay? It has to be a word in the story that I'm reading. You can't just ask me obscure word. You can't just open a dictionary and ask me the word. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so let's go. Let's do a recap of what happened last time. Okay, so last time, remember that big old guy that's like a big fat ball? He looks like a ball and he's gigantic, and his name is Old Man. So he comes to the Huashan to the Huashan school, and he kidnaps our hero Ling Hu Chong, and he ties him up at home. All right, and he explains that he has spent years creating a medicine for his terminally ill daughter. Okay, and he spent years making this medicine for his daughter, and he finally got it ready for her to drink. But then his friend, this Zhu Qianqiu guy, this guy who's like a scholar dude, he had tricked Ling Hu Chong. He stole the medicine and tricked Ling Hu Chong into drinking it. All right, so so the old man, this big dude, is really mad, right? But he decides he has one last chance to save his daughter, and that is since Ling Hu Chong drank the medicine must be in his blood. So big guy decides to tie Ling Hu Chong up and drain his blood, and then feed it to his daughter. All right, and that's the plan. He ties him up. He's all ready to cut Ling Hu Chong up when his friend, that scholar, arrives and he stops everything. He's like, "Stop, stop, stop, stop!" And then he whispers into the old man's ears, and then the old man immediately his behavior immediately changes. And he's like, "Oh shit!" and he goes, he apologizes, and then he unties Ling Huchong, and he starts bowing to Ling Huchong like he's some special person, right? They both start bowing to him, and Ling Huchong doesn't know what's going on. He has no idea what's going on, but he he realizes that these guys will do anything he says. So he tells them to tie themselves up, okay? And they do. So they're tied up and they can't move. And then Ling Huchong goes into the room of the daughter who's sick, right? And then he starts, what does he do? Being the hero that he is, and he knows that he's already going to die in 100 days. Anyways, he cuts his wrist and he drains his blood into a bowl, right? Intending to save her life by making her drink it, okay? So that's it. That's the recap from what happened last week. How's that? The meatball man. Yep, old man is the meatball man. Yeah, kowtow is not just bowing. Yeah, they're on the floor bowing, like you do before an altar or something. All right, come on. Give me a second here. Alrighty. Chapter 15. No, wait. Yeah, Chapter 15, Part 2, Medicine. After shedding a bowl worth of blood, right? He's draining his wrist now. After shedding a bowl worth of blood, Ling Huchong felt as if his head had become completely drained, and his legs almost gave out under him. If she doesn't drink this because she is scared, wouldn't I have shed my blood for nothing? He thought to himself. Grabbing the knife into his left hand, he yelled, "If you don't do what I tell you, I'll kill you with this knife." Right after the last word, he placed the tip of the blade next to the girl's throat. The girl feared for her life and had to swallow down the entire bowl of blood. For several times, she almost vomited from the nauseating. But every time when she caught the sight of the shining blade in Ling Huchong's hand, the terror overwhelmed her and prevented her from throwing up. Ling Huchong watched her drink up the entire bowl of blood. The wound on his wrist had slowly stopped bleeding as blood clots started forming around it. Ling Huchong thought to himself, I took old man's life-extending 8 pills, but what went into the girl's stomach was perhaps even less than 1/10 of it. Once I used the restroom a few times, I am afraid even more would be lost. I'd better feed her a few more bowls of blood while I still can, until I am too weak to move about. At that thought, he cut open his right wrist also, and as soon as the bowl was filled with blood, he rushed to feed the girl again. The girl frowned. Don't force me. I can't take any more of this, she pleaded. It's not up to you. Hurry up. Drink. Hurry, Ling Huchong urged. The girl drank some more reluctantly and had to stop for a moment to catch her breath. Why are you doing this? No, this is very harmful for your body, she said. Why are you doing this? Doing this is very harmful for your body, she said. It's quite all right. Don't worry about my body. It's all for your own good. Ling Huchong let out a forced smile. As soon as Branch Fairy and Fruit Fairy fell into the fishing net booby trap set by Old Man, they immediately tried to set themselves free. But the more they struggled, the tighter the fishing net became, and soon they couldn't even move their arms or legs any inch. Although the two of them couldn't move, that did not prevent their ears from functioning perfectly well, and their tongues from arguing back and forth. At the time when Ling Huchong had tied Old and Zhu to their chairs, Branch Fairy had predicted that he would certainly kill the two, while Fruit Fairy had predicted that he would definitely come out and set the two fairy brothers free first. But that debate ended up a total waste of time. Neither of them had gotten it right. Ling Huchong had entered the girl's bedroom instead. Since the girl's bedroom was sealed very well with all the cotton sheets, only segments of Ling Huchong and the girl's conversation could be vaguely heard. For Branch Fairy, Fruit Fairy, Yue Buchun, Old Man, and Zhu Qianchu, remember, Yue Buchun is outside listening in on what was happening. Yue Buchun is the master of Ling Huchong. Even though all five of them had resourceful inner energy, they still couldn't tell what Ling Huchong was doing in the girl's bedroom, so they had to let their imagination run wild. When suddenly, the girls' scream broke out. All their faces changed color. Oh, chat is getting sick from the blood drinking. It's not that gross. Well, you never drank blood before? The girl will probably just get wasted from all the alcohol in his blood. Maybe. Ling Huchong is a guy. What is he doing in a girl's bedroom? Branch Fairy asked. Listen, that girl was in terror, Fruit Fairy exclaimed. She said, I'm scared. And Ling Huchong said, if you don't do what I tell you, I'll kill you with this knife. He said, do what I tell you. What does he want the girl to do? What else? Of course he is forcing the girl to be his woman, Branch Fairy concluded. Ha ha ha! How funny! That short melon-sized man's daughter, of course, has to be a short melon-sized girl as well. Why would Ling Huchong want to force her to be his woman? Fruit Fairy disagreed. Different people favor different things. Maybe Ling Huchong has this thingy for fat girls, and as soon as he spots a fat girl, he'd find himself in heaven and totally forget about everything else, Branch Fairy argued. Wow, did you hear that? The fat girl is begging him now. I think she said something like, don't force me, I can't take it anymore. Fruit Fairy imitated. That's right, but the chap Ling Huchong is determined. He said it's not up to you. Hurry up, hurry. Branch Fairy followed. Why is Ling Huchong asking her to hurry up? Hurry up doing what? Fruit Fairy asked. You never got married and are still a virgin. Of course you don't understand, Branch Fairy mocked. Like you've ever married anyone, you shameless jerk, Fruit Fairy fought back. You know that I never got married. Why did you ask me for? Branch Fairy reproved. Hey, old man, Ling Huchong is forcing your daughter to be his woman. Are you just going to sit there and watch her die? Fruit Fairy shouted out loud. Mind your own business, Branch Fairy admonished. How do you know that that fat girl is going to die? Isn't his daughter's name Old Not Dead? Yeah, her name is Not Dead, by the way. How can she die? Ever since Old Man and Zhu Qianchu were tied to their chairs and their pressure points sealed, they listened through everything. From Miss Old's scream to the sound of her begging for mercy. Gazing at each other with blank dismay, they were totally out of ideas. They had suspected the same thing themselves, and the loud arguments from the Peach Valley two fairies in the courtyard only confirmed their suspicion. Okay, so they think something bad is happening. Something weird is afoot. Okay, he's doing something that he's not supposed to do in the bedroom. Okay, how did I do this guy's voice again? Was he a little high? Brother Old, we've got to stop this. Who would have expected young Master Ling Hu to be such a lubricious man? I am afraid he is going to get into big trouble, Zhu Qianchu said to Old Man. Alas, I wouldn't have minded him deflowering Not Dead, the kid. What? Wait, what? He wouldn't? He's her dad. Alas, I wouldn't have minded him deflowering, not dead, the kid, but that would really be unfair for the other one. Old man heaved a sigh. Listen to that, Zhu Qianqiu suggested. Your daughter, not dead, has grown quite some affection for him. She said doing this is very harmful for your body. And did you hear how Ling Huchong responded? He said, "It's quite all right. Don't worry about my body. It's all for your own good. God damn it, these two kids," Old man replied. Brother Old, congratulations, congratulations. Zhu Qianqiu burst into loud laughter. Congratulations, my ass, Old man scolded angrily. What are you getting angry for? Congratulations for getting a wonderful son-in-law, Zhu Qianqiu grinned. Old man let out a loud shout and reprove with a yell. Stop the nonsense. If this gets out, do you think we'd still be alive? When he spoke these words, his voice was filled with utter fear. Right, Zhu Qianqiu replied. His voice also quavered. Okay, so at first they were like, oh, it's a great honor to have him as his son-in-law. But then they're suddenly afraid of someone else. Okay. So it's all very mysterious. Wait, you want me to define deflowering? I know what deflowering is. You know I know what deflowering is. I'm not going to say it. That is not one word that I don't know the definition to. Yue Buchun had been hiding on the tree outside of the wall, and was even further from it. Although he initialized the divine art of Violet Twilight. Remember, that's his kung fu, right? He was only able to hear fragments of the conversation. At first, when he heard Ling Huchong forcing the girl, he had wanted to rush inside to stop it. But then he changed his mind, thinking that all these people, Ling Huchong included, had been so secretive and unusual. Who was it to say that they weren't conspiring something? The best thing for him to do at the time would be to observe calmly and not act recklessly. So he simply listened on with his divine art of Violet Twilight fully loaded. Then the dialogues between the Peach Valley's two fairies and the ones between Old and Zhu kept ringing in his ears. He was also convinced that Ling Huchong must have taken advantage of the girl's precarious condition and had molested the girl. He is so suspicious of his student here. Now, he should know Ling Huchong's character, and he wouldn't do this. Later, when he heard the conversation between Old and Zhu, he figured that since Ling Huchong was a dissolute and unconventional young man, and the girl probably did carry her father's genes and was a short and fat, ugly girl, it would only be natural for her to fall in love with Ling Huchong after losing her virginity to him. Seeing how ludicrous the episode had become, he couldn't help but shake his head in despair. Does it have to do with being a florist? Yes, that's what deflowering means. It means you take a flower and then you chop it off. Dun, dun, dun. Precarious? Precarious means a dangerous position. Like you're in a dangerous position. Right? So the girl's dangerous condition. The girl's screaming voice rose again all of a sudden. Don't. Too much blood, I beg of you. Oh no. Suddenly, someone shouted from outside the walls. Old man, I finally lost those Peach Valley's 4 goblins. Then came a gentle thud as the man leapt over the wall and entered the hall. It was none other than the man with the white banner who had provoked the Peach Valley's 4 fairies into chasing him. Okay, so this is a third guy in the friend group of the old man and Zhu Qianchu. And this guy, in the last chapter, he had made a distraction and led 4 of the Peach Valley's fairies away, right? So that the old man could kidnap Ling Huchong. What should his voice be? How should I do his voice? What's How about like a deep, calm voice? I don't know. What's going on? He was shocked. it's like Dracula. What's going on? He was shocked to find Old Man and Zhu Qianchu both tied up to their chairs. He flipped his right hand swiftly, and a shining dagger magically appeared in his palm. Waving his arms hurriedly a few times, he had cut loose the ropes around the 2's legs and arms. The girl's scream rose from her room once again. Please, please, I beg you, no more. Picking up the urgency in her tone of voice, the man uttered a cry of shock. It is. Wait, how did I do his voice again? It is Miss Old Not Dead. He dashed toward the door. Grabbing the man by his arm quickly, Old Man yelled, You can't go in there! Stunned, the man put a halt to his steps. Then came the voice of Branch Fairy from the courtyard. I bet you the short melon must be thrilled to have a son-in-law like Ling Huchong. Ling Huchong could die any day now. Why would he be so thrilled to have a half-dead, half-alive son-in-law? Fruit Fairy challenged. His daughter could die any day as well. They make a perfect half-dead, half-alive couple, Branch Fairy explained. Now, who will die and who will live? Fruit Fairy asked. What a dumb question. Of course Ling Huchong will die. Miss Old Not Dead's name is Old Not Dead. How can she ever die, dummy? Branch Fairy mocked. That's not necessarily true. Does one's name always reflect the reality? What if everybody in this world were named Old Not Dead? Would every one of them grow old yet do not die? If that's the case, then our training in martial arts would have been no good at all, Fruit Fairy rebuffed. Amid the arguing between the 2 brothers, a loud thud came from inside the room. Something had collapsed onto the floor. Miss Old screamed again. Though her voice was weak, it was filled with panic. Dad, come here, hurry! There's a botany lesson happening in the chat right now. Old Man sprinted into the bedroom, only finding Ling Huchong lying on the floor unconscious, a china bowl leaning by his chest upside down and blood all over his upper body. Miss Old leaned by the bed. There was also blood by the corner of her mouth. Zhu Qianchu and the other man stood behind Old Man and stared at the bizarre scene, each with a stomach full of questions. Dad, he cut himself to draw blood and then forced me to drink 2 bowls worth. He wants to cut himself more, Miss Old exclaimed. The shock struck Old Man like a thunder. He rushed forward and propped Ling Huchong's upper body into his own arms. Now he could see the cuts on both of Ling Huchong's wrists, from which blood was still gushing out non-stop. Scared out of his wits, Old Man sprinted out of the room and returned with gauzes, bandages, and medication within moments. In the fluster, even though this was his own home, he still bumped his head on the door frames, resulting in a big swelling on his forehead and a large hole on the wall. When Branch Fairy heard the banging sound, he thought the Old Man must have given Ling Huchong a good beating, so he shouted, Hey, old man! Ling Huchong is a good friend of the Peach Valley's 6 fairies. Stop beating him. If you beat him to death, I promise you that the Peach Valley's 6 fairies will tear all your fats into strips. Wrong, Fruit Fairy reproved. What's wrong? Branch Fairy inquired. If he had muscles all around his body, then of course you can tear them into strips, but all he has are fats. You'll end up with a bunch of grease. How can you tear fats into strips? Fruit Fairy argued. Old Man applied the medication to the wrist wounds and then wrapped the wounds well with bandages. After a good while of massaging the pressure points on Ling Huchong's chest and stomach, Ling Huchong finally regained his consciousness. Feeling slightly relieved and utterly grateful, Old Man muttered in a shaky voice, Young Master Ling Hu, you, even by smashing us into bits and pieces, wouldn't have, alas, wouldn't have. Young Master Ling Hu, it was only because of a misunderstanding. That old man tied you up earlier. Why did you take it so seriously? You are just making him feel even more embarrassed, Zhu Qianqiu said. Ling Huchong let out a weak smile. My internal injury cannot be cured by any Catholicon. I truly appreciate the kindness of Senior Master Zhu for feeding me the life-extending 8 pills that belonged to Senior Master Old, but it was really a waste. I hope this girl's disease can be cured. A strong feel of disorientation caused by losing much blood suddenly consumed him, and he passed out once again. Carrying Ling Huchong in his arms, Old Man walked out of his daughter's bedroom and set Ling Huchong down on his own bed. What now? What now? He muttered distractedly with a long, worried face. Young Master Ling Hu lost a lot of blood. I am afraid he is on the edge of his life. What do you think if we 3 load all our inner energy and inject the inner energy into his body to revive him? What do you say? Zhu Qianqiu suggested. Oh no, they're gonna do more injection of inner energy? He already has like 8 energy streams inside his body. And that's what's causing him to die. Naturally, Old Man concurred. He gently propped Ling Huchong up and placed his right palm on the Da Jue point at Ling Huchong's back. As soon as he initialized his energy flow, his entire body suddenly shocked violently. A loud crack echoed as the chair he sat on collapsed to the floor and was smashed into bits and pieces. Branch Fairy burst into loud laughter. Guess how Ling Huchong inflicted his internal injury at the first place? It was all because our 6 brothers tried to heal him with our internal energy. Now the short melon decides to play the ape. Huh? Aren't you just going to cause Ling Huchong new injuries on top of what he already has? Ha 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 ha. Hey, did you hear that loud cracking sound? That short melon must have been shocked by the inner energy inside Ling Huchong and smashed into something. Ling Huchong's inner energy is actually our energy. The short melon once again is suffering from the wrath of the Peach Valley's 6 fairies. Wonderful, wonderful, Fruit Fairy added. Alas, if young Master Ling Hu stays unconscious like this, I guess there's only one thing left for the old man. I'll just have to kill myself. Old Man heaved a heavy sigh. The man came in last, suddenly yelled out loudly. Hi, the one on the jujube tree. Hi, the one on the jujube tree outside. Are you Mr. Yue, the headmaster of the Huashan school? Yue Buchun was dumbfounded. Oh, the master, remember, he was hiding right outside. He thought he was being secretive, but apparently they knew he was there all along. So he knew I was hiding here all along, he thought aloud. Mr. Yue, you are a guest from afar. Why don't you come in for a visit? The man shouted again. Yue Buchun felt very awkward. It wouldn't be a good idea to go in, yet by now he could no longer stay on top of the jujube tree. Young Master Ling Hu, your apprentice has fainted. Would you like to take a look at him? The man urged again. Clearing his throat to cover up the embarrassment, Yue Buchun leapt over the the 12 feet or so space in the courtyard and landed directly on the corridor under the eaves. By then, Old Man had greeted out and cupped his hands to salute. "Mr. Yue, come in, please," he said. "Forgive me for being an unexpected guest. I was just concerned about the safety of my apprentice," Yue Buchun replied. "It was all my fault. Alas, if... Old Man muttered. "Don't you worry about it. Ling Huchong won't die," Branch Fairy suddenly cut in. "How do you know that he won't die?" Old Man was overjoyed and asked hurriedly. "He is much younger than you and also much younger than me, isn't he?" Branch Fairy asked. "Yeah? What about it?" Old Man was confused. "Now, do older people die first or do younger people die first? Of course, it's older people who die first, duh. Since you are not dead and I am perfectly alive, how can Ling Huchong die?" Branch Fairy explained. Old Man had hoped that he would probably have some unique ideas. Hearing the drivel from him, he could only let out a wry smile. "I've got a real clever idea," Fruit Fairy joined in. "Let's all put our efforts together and change Ling Huchong's name to Ling Hu Not Dead." Oh, yeah, good idea. Good idea, dude. Yue Buchun followed Old Man and entered his bedroom, and then saw Ling Huchong lying on the bed, still unconscious. "If I don't make an exhibition of my divine art of violet..." Wait, that's not him. "If I don't make an exhibition of my divine art of violet twilight, these folks here would undoubtedly make light of our Huashan school," he thought to himself. He turned toward the bed, so when the violet color showed on his face, no one would notice it, and secretly initialize his divine art. As soon as the divine art is loaded, he placed his palm on the Da Jue point on Ling Huchong's back. Knowing how the energy streams swarmed inside Ling Huchong, he didn't put much strength into his move. Instead, only injected very little inner energy, slowly. And as soon as he could feel the inner energy inside, Ling Huchong started reacting to his maneuver. He pulled his palm back about half an inch from Ling Huchong's skin and waited a short moment before placing his palm back onto Ling Huchong again. A short while went by when Ling Huchong gradually gained his senses back and was able to speak. "Master, you are here." Seeing how Yue Buchun revived Ling Huchong without putting out much effort, the three observers made no effort to hide their admiration. "This place is a hotbed of trouble," thought Yue Buchun to himself. "Better get out of here soon. Besides, I wonder what's happening with my wife and the bunch of apprentices on the boat." So he cupped his hand and said, "Thank you very much for your cordial reception to my apprentice and I. We'd better get going." Right. Young Master Ling Hu is not feeling well. We really should have been a better host, but he would probably be taken better care of with you. It is really a lack of manner on our side. We beg your pardon," Old Man apologized. "You are being too modest," Yue Buchun replied. Under the dim light in the room, he suddenly noticed the shining eyes of the third man, and a quick thought flashed by his mind. "May I ask the respectful name of this friend?" Cupping his hand in greet, he asked. "I guess Mr. Yue has never met our night owl, Ji Wushi, before." Zhu Qianqiu grinned. Yue Buchun felt a small chill in his heart as he pondered. Night owl, Ji Wushi? I heard that this man was born with special abilities and has extraordinary eyesight. His conduct has always been uncertain, sometimes kind while sometimes wicked, sometimes good, yet at other times evil. Although his name is Ji Wushi, meaning out of one's wits, he is really very tough. He is really a very tough one, full of craft and cunning. Who would have expected him to be mingled up with the bunch such as Old Man? Cupping his hands hurriedly, he greeted. I've heard your names many times and have long been looking forward to meet you. It's so unfortunate that I've finally got the chance today. Well, not just today. Aren't we going to meet again tomorrow on the Five Tyrant Ridge? Ji Wushi grinned. Yue Buchun felt another chill in his heart, even though he felt it was in the right manner to ask for more details. After they had only met for a few minutes, his worries regarding his kidnapped daughter overwhelmed his concern for proper protocols. I remember, I think in the last chapter, this Ji Wushi guy kidnapped Yue Buchun's daughter and said to meet at this ridge. That's what they're referring to. I was wondering how I have offended fellow martial friends in the local area somehow. I figured that it must have been my lack of manners for having not paid any visits to the various masters around here. Would Mr. Zhi be kind enough to give me some pointers as to which friends had invited my daughter and an apprentice named Lin over? Really? I don't think I know much about that, Ji Wushi replied with another grin. To ask Ji Wushi so nicely about the whereabouts of his daughter was already quite a concession for Yue Buchun, the headmaster of the renowned Huashan school. When Ji Wushi obviously had evaded the issue, although worried and irritated, Yue Buchun could not ask any further, so he put on an indifferent face and said dryly, I'm so sorry to have disturbed you so late at night. I'll see you around. I sound exactly like I do in my videos. Yeah, because it's my normal speaking voice. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, it wasn't Ji Wushi who kidnapped the daughter. It was a monk. Okay, that was a monk. Thanks, Losh. He propped Ling Huchong up and was just about to pick him up into his arms when Old Man suddenly stuck his head out between the master and the apprentice and rushed to hold Ling Huchong into his own arms. Wait, who's talking here? Oh, the old man is talking. I am the one who took young Master Ling Hu here, so naturally I am the one responsible for sending him back, he exclaimed as he grabbed a thin blanket to cover up Ling Huchong's body before striding out. Hey, hold it! What about us, the two big fish here? Branch Fairy shouted in a hurry. Well... Old man hesitated. If he let the two brothers go, it would really be difficult to ward off the revenge from the Peach Valley's 6 fairies, but with these two as hostages, the other 4 would at least have some scruples. Ling Huchong knew what Old Man had in his mind. Senior Master Old, will you please set the two of them free? Now you 2 fairies, will you please not seek any revenge or cause any trouble for Master Old and Master Zhu? How about turning adversity into friendship, he suggested. With just the 2 of us, I don't think we can make trouble for them, even if we tried, Branch Fairy replied. Of course, I am referring to all 6 of the Peach Valley's fairies, Ling Huchong clarified. Not to seek revenge or make trouble for them is all right, but there's no way we are going to turn adversity into friendship. Even if you chop my head off, there's still no way, Fruit Fairy exclaimed. Old Man and Zhu Qianchu both grunted, thinking, It is only for the sake of young Master Ling Hu that we have agreed not to fuss about with you. Did you actually think the old ancestor of the Yellow River is afraid of the Peach Valley 6 fairies? Why is that? Ling Huchong asked. The Peach Valley 6 fairies never had any grudges against or any scores to settle with the old ancestor of the Yellow River. We are never adversaries, so there's simply no way we can turn adversity into anything. That's why becoming friends would be fine, but there's no way we can turn adversity into friendship, no matter what, Fruit Fairy elaborated. At those words, everyone laughed out loud. Zhu Qianchu stooped down and untied the slip knot on the fishing net. The strings of the fishing net were made from human hair, silk from wild silkworms, and pure gold threads interweaved together, which then became extremely tenacious and persistent. Even sharp knives or swords couldn't have been able to cut through them. If anyone got trapped inside it, the more he struggled, the tighter it became, unless someone untied the slip knot from the outside. It would be impossible to get out of the trap. Wow, you guys. You know, you guys haven't caught me in you haven't caught me not knowing the definition of a word yet. You guys are being so nice. Haven't challenged me many times. There have been some words that I'm not sure of the definition of. So, but I just moved past them because no one called me out on it. Right, one word means one karaoke song that I have to sing. One word that I don't know means one karaoke song that I have to sing at the end. As soon as Branch Fairy got back onto his feet, he dropped his pants and started pissing all over the fishing net. What the fuck? What are you doing? Zhu Qianchu asked in shock. If I don't piss all over this damn net, how am I going to vent my spleen? Branch Fairy answered. The 7 of them returned to the... What the hell? He just pulled his pants down and started pissing. I guess he didn't have time to go take a piss, right? He was trapped inside that net for so long. The 7 of them returned to the wharf. Yue Buchun could see from a distance that the 2 apprentices, Lao Denois and Gao Genming, had been guarding the boats with swords in their hands. Knowing that everyone was all right, he was slightly relieved. Cordial? Cordial means like polite, right? Yeah. Deflowering, okay, I know what deflowering is. I don't want to answer it. How many fingers do I have? I think I have 10. 10? Why? Do you think I have less or more than 10 fingers? Old man carried Ling Hu Chong into the cabin and then bowed all the way down. Young Master Ling Hu, your virtue shines above the 9 heavens. I am utterly grateful for what you have done. I'll say goodbye for now, but we'll meet again soon. Because of the bumps on the way back, Ling Hu Chong had fallen back into a state of wooziness and almost fainted again. He didn't really catch old man's words and only answered with a weak hum. Noticing the complete opposite attitude shown by the meatball man before and after, how respectful and cautious he had become toward Ling Hu Chong, Madame Yue and the rest of the apprentices were dumbfounded, afraid that Root Fairy and the bunch of Peach Valley fairies might get back soon. Old Man and Zhu Qianchu didn't want to stay any longer, and soon bid their farewell to Yue Buchun. Wait, Brother Zhu, Branch Fairy beckoned at Zhu Qianchu. What's the matter? Zhu Qianchu asked. This, Branch Fairy answered as he bent his knees and suddenly rammed his shoulder toward Zhu Qianchu's chest with full speed. This completely caught Zhu Qianchu by surprise. Having no time to dodge away, Zhu Qianchu quickly loaded his inner energy. Within a split second, he had gathered resourceful inner energy in his lower stomach, which made his chest and stomach as hard as a rock. Dozens of cracking and smashing noises exploded all at once. A split second later, Branch Fairy had quickly withdrawn back dozens of feet, bursting into loud laughter. Oh no! Zhu Qianchu uttered a cry as he reached into his chest pocket and took out countless bits and pieces. Among those were chips of china, jade, bamboo, and wood. The over 24 precious wine cups in Zhu Qianchu's chest pocket had all been smashed from the collision. Even cups like the golden cup, silver cup, or the bronze jue had all been completely flattened out. Consumed by strong fury and deep regrets, Zhu Qianchu waved his hand and shot the scores of debris toward Branch Fairy like a swarm of darts. But Branch Fairy had expected that and swiftly dodged away. Why did he do that? That's not cool. Those were a valuable cup. More fingers, more power. Are you hiding a 6th finger? Am I? Let's see. Am I hiding a 6th finger? Wait, here's a finger. Oh, that maybe that's the finger you're talking about. Ling Hu Chong told us to turn adversity into friendship. We must obey his orders. That's why we must become adversaries first before becoming friends, Branch Fairy shouted. Having lost all the precious wine cups that took him decades to collect by Branch Fairies' one single hit, Zhu Qianchu was infuriated. But hearing Branch Fairies' words just when he was about to launch his full wave of attacks, he immediately pulled his steps back. That's right. Turn adversaries into friends. Turn adversaries into friends, he murmured with a wry smile, and then walked away together with Old Man and Zhi Wushi. Alright, let's take a 5-minute break. 5-minute break. And then we'll come back. Alright guys, be right back. What the heck? That song was so short. I didn't even get a proper break. Alright. Got some food. Yeah. Alright, someone tell me what that says. It's some kind of wafer, I believe. Alright. Oh. Hello. It's like chocolate or something? Some kind of... Maybe it's white chocolate. It's wafers, I think. Nope. Like a cake. No, it's not wafer. It's like a cake. It has kind of a cake texture. Yeah, I think this is white chocolate. All right, not bad, not bad. Pretty good. Hmm. Not tiramisu. No. It's like regular cake. Regular cake texture. It's very sweet. I'm not a big fan of sweet, but this is okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was Sadness and Sorrow, the song from Naruto. That always makes you feel sad, doesn't it? All right, right. Right now they're back on the ship. Ling Huchong is not has been unkidnapped, and he's been released back onto the ship with his school. In his muddled mind state, Ling Huchong was still concerned about the safety of Yue Lingshan. Branch Fairy, will you please ask them not to harm my apprentice sister, Yue? He said. Certainly, Branch Fairy answered, and then shouted out loudly, Hey, old man, Night Owl, and Zhu Jianchu, listen up. Ling Huchong said that you should not harm his darling apprentice sister. Ji Wushi and the group of 3 had walked quite a distance away when they heard Branch Fairy. At the words, they all stopped in their steps. Old Man turned his head around and shouted his answer. If young Master Ling Hu said so, we'll certainly comply. After the 3 of them discussed this over some whispers, they resumed their steps. Yue Buchun started telling Madame Yue what he saw and heard over at Old Man's house, but only a few sentences into it. Loud shouts and noises from ashore interrupted him. Root Fairy and the rest of the 3 fairies had returned. The 4 of them certainly kept their mouths busy, bragging continuously about how they had caught the man holding the white banner, and how they had torn him into 4 pieces. Fruit Fairy laughed so hard that he almost lost a few teeth. Wow, amazing, brothers, you guys are so awesome, he mocked. So you tore that man into 4 pieces? Did you know what his name was? Branch Fairy asked. He's dead already. Who cares what his name was? Could you have known his name? Could you have known his name? Trunk Fairy answered. Of course I do, Branch Fairy replied. His name is Ji Wushi, and he also has a nickname called Night Owl. Leaf Fairy applauded. Hey, what a wonderful name that is. Turned out this guy actually had some insights. He must have known beforehand that one day he would be caught by the Peach Valley 6 fairies and would be totally out of his wits, having no way of escaping the fate of being torn into 4 pieces. That's why he gave himself that name. That Night Owl Ji Wushi was certainly a tough guy. His kung fu was so extraordinary and totally exceptional too, Root Fairy exclaimed. That's right, his kung fu was excellent, Root Fairy couldn't have agreed more. If it weren't for his bad luck that he picked the Peach Valley 6 fairies to mess with, his kung fu in Qinggong could have ranked him among the top fighters in the martial world. His kung fu in Qinggong was nothing compared to this. Did you know that after you tore him into 4 pieces, he was able to put all the pieces back together and revive himself from death and then walk around just like normal? He even came here just a few moments ago and had a nice chat with us. Fruit Fairy cracked an evil grin. By then did Fruit Fairy and the rest of the 3 fairies finally realize that their lie had been uncovered, but neither of them had much concern about it, and all put on a pretended surprise on their faces. Wow, I had no idea that Ji Wushi knew such odd kung fu. That just proves that the old saying that you cannot judge a person by his look, like you cannot measure the ocean using a ladder. Ladler. Ah, crap. How admirable. Truly admirable, Flower Fairy exclaimed. I've heard that there's this kung fu called the piece parts back into a whole art, which allows the practitioner to put the torn apart 4 pieces of himself back into a whole and allows him to walk normally within instants. But I thought this kung fu had been lost ages ago. Who would have expected that Ji Wushi somehow have mastered it? He is indeed a unique one in the martial world. Well, I suppose the next time when we see him, it's alright to befriend him, Trunk Fairy speculated. Meanwhile, Yue Buchun and Madame Yue found themselves profoundly worried. Their beloved daughter had been kidnapped, yet they had not a clue in regard to whom the enemy might have been. The Huashan Sword School enjoyed great fame in the entire martial world. They certainly didn't expect to suffer such a setback by the Yellow River, but they kept the feeling to themselves and showed no sign of it, afraid that it would create a panic among the many apprentices. The couple didn't discuss any of the doubts and suspicions they had accrued either, only pondered upon them individually, and the only noises inside the cabin were nothing but the constant rubbish coming out of the Peach Valley 6 fairies. Ah, crap. So, you want to know what a ladler is, eh? A ladler. A ladler is like a ladder, but it's like a ladder, but you also there's a ladle on top of it. So it's a ladder and it has a ladle on top of it. What is the ladle used for? It's used for like drinking soup and stuff, you know? Okay. What the fuck is a ladler, you guys? Does anyone know? Is that even a real word? Oh shit, it is a real word. What? Wait a minute. That can't be right. Oh, oh thanks. A ladler is one that ladles. Merriam-Webster dictionary. The trusted name in dictionaries. Thank you so much. Really? It just means a person who serves something out with a ladle. So a person who uses a ladle? That can't be right. Wait. You guys, we need to get to the bottom of this. Wait, where was it? That just proves the old saying that you cannot judge a person by his look, like you cannot measure the ocean using a ladler. I think it means using a ladle. I think that's a typo, you guys. Oh wait. Is something wrong? Is something wrong with the stream? Or is it good now? Okay, it's good now. Wait, guys. All right, how do we deal with this? I think this is a technicality. Okay. Because I don't think they meant to use the word ladler. I think they meant to use the word ladle, and I know what a ladle is. All right, fine, whatever. All right, you get one song. Okay, at the end, you get one song. Let's see if you can get two. You bastards. Foiled again by a typo. No, I'll sing you a whole song. It's not half a song. I'm a man of my words, you guys. I will sing you a song. Over 2 hours went by uneventfully, and daybreak was almost around the corner. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps from ashore broke the silence, and moments later, 2 sedans had arrived by the bank. The leading sedan carrier announced in a loud and clear tone, "Young Master Ling Hu said that Miss Yue should not be harmed or frightened in any way. Our superior has sent us to apologize for the accident and ask for young Master Ling Hu's forgiveness." The 4 carriers set down the 2 sedans, bowed toward the direction of the boat, and then turned around and walked away. "Dad! Mom!" Yue Lingshan's voice shouted from inside one of the sedans. Shocked but utterly overjoyed, the Yue couple leapt ashore and lifted the curtain of the sedan. Needless to say, it was Yue Lingshan sitting inside, only that the pressure points on her legs had been sealed, which prevented her from moving about. And not to their surprise, the occupant of the second sedan was none other than Lin Pingzhi. Ah, crap! What's a sedan? Obviously, a sedan is a car with four doors. Obviously, no. So a sedan is a boat, right? I'm guessing that's what it is. I'm saying it's a boat. Let's check. to see if my guess is correct. Nope. Dictionary. Dictionary. Oh no! That is not correct. Apparently, it's an enclosed chair for conveying one person carried between two horizontal poles by two or more porters. Oh. What? So they're on a sedan on a boat? Oh, they're not on a boat! They're on... Oh, they're not in the river. They're by the bank. Crap! That's 2 songs. Yeah, it's a little thing, like what do you call those? Like a palanquin, right? Yeah. Ah, damn it. Alright, that's 2 songs. Good job, chat. Great job. Great work. Toyota has always existed. Yeah, I think they mean the car, like the 4-door sedan. I think that's what they meant. So these guys got were in 2 cars, 2 automobiles, and they got out. What? All right. Good job. 2 songs. Ah, crap. I hope the chapter is almost finished. All right, so the 2 sedans were Lin Pingzhi and Yue Lingshan, okay? So the master's daughter and her boyfriend, soon to be husband. Yue Buchun stroked the Huantiao, Jizhong, and Weizhong points on his daughter's legs and opened the seal pressure points for her. Who was that large-built man? He asked. That tall and big giant, he. Curling her cute lips, Yue Lingshan almost cried out. Gently picking her up and holding her in her arms, Madame Yue walked back into the cabin. Are you all right? She asked in a whisper. Hearing her mother's question, Yue Lingshan burst into a sob, which almost gave Madame Yue a heart attack. Those people weren't really law-abiding citizens of the society. Wait. Damn it. Okay, this is the mom talking. Those people weren't really law-abiding citizens of the society. Lingshan was in their hands for quite some hours. Could she have been disgraced? Madame Yue's imagination started running wild. What happened? It's all right. You can tell your mother, she asked hurriedly. But Yue Lingshan only cried louder. Madame Yue started to panic, but she couldn't ask anything further with such a big crowd around. Setting her daughter down to a bed, she pulled a quilt and wrapped it around her. Mom, that big giant swore at me. Oh, pfft. Yue Lingshan suddenly cried out after some loud sniffs, and her words set Madame Yue's heart back into its chamber. Is that all? Are you just grieving over some bad-mouthing? Madame Yue asked with a smile. He also raised his hand to scare me, pretending that he was going to hit me, Yue Lingshan exclaimed as she cried on. All right. When we see him next time, we'll cuss him back and scare him back, Madame Yue comforted her with a grin. I never badmouthed Big Apprentice brother, neither did little Lin. That big giant was so vicious and overbearing. He said that what he doesn't like the most was for people to badmouth Ling Hu Chong. I said, I don't like that either. Then he said that if he doesn't like someone, he'd simply cook him and eat him. Mom, at that word, he opened his mouth to scare me with his ghastly teeth, Yue Lingshan whimpered. That was evil, Madame Yue replied. Chong, who is that giant man? The giant man? I... Still quite muddle-headed, Ling Hu Chong murmured back. By then, Lin Pingzhi's sealed pressure points were also opened by his master, and he had walked in the cabin. Master wife, that giant man and the monk really do eat human flesh, They weren't just trying to sound scary, he intercepted. The two of them do eat human flesh? How did you know? Madame Yue was stunned. The monk asked me about the evil resisting sword manuscript for a while, and then took out something from his chest pocket and started chewing on it with full interest. He even stuck that thing under my nose and asked if I wanted to take a big bite just for the taste of it. Turned out that thing was the hand of a human. Why didn't you tell any of that to me earlier? Yue Lingshan uttered a cry of shock. I was afraid you would be frightened, so I kept that to myself, Lin Pingzhi answered. Ah, I remember now, Yue Buchun suddenly spoke out. Those two are the bear duo of the northern desert. The giant man's skin is almost completely white, while the monk's skin is very dark, isn't it? That's right, Dad. You know them? Yue Lingshan asked. No, I don't. I just heard before that there are two notorious robbers in the northern desert region. One is called the White Bear, and the other one is the Black Bear. If merchants travel by themselves, these bear duo merely rob them of their goods. But if the goods were transferred by martial escorts, then the bear duo often cooks the escorts up and eats them. They say that since martial people have stronger muscles, they are normally extra chewy. Yue Buchun elaborated. Yue Lingshan let out another cry of terror. Senior apprentice brother, why did you have to bring that up? Extra chewy? That's so gross, Madame Yue protested. Yue Buchun let out a slight grin. After a short pause, he continued. I heard that the bear duo of the northern desert never came to this side of the Great Wall. Why did they come by the Yellow River this time? Chong, how did you know the bear duo of the northern desert? Bear duo of the northern desert? Ling Huchong murmured. He didn't really pick up the first half of his master's words and thought his master had said bear do or something like that. I don't know him, he answered after a short daze. Little Lin, Yue Lingshan suddenly intercepted. When that monk asked you to take a bite at the hand, did you do it? Of course not, Lin Pingzhi answered immediately. You'd better not. If you did, I'll never talk to you again, Yue Lingshan exclaimed. Trunk Fairy suddenly interrupted from the outer cabin. Human flesh is the most ambrosial relish in the entire world. I bet you that little Lin must have sneaked a bite and just wouldn't admit it, that's all. If he really didn't sneak a bite, why didn't he just say that at the very beginning? Why bend over backward and deny so frantically now? Leaf Fairy added. Ever since Lin Pingzhi's terrible family tragedy, he had always been watching out for his own words and behavior. The two fairies' censure took him by surprise and he found himself speechless. There you go. See, his not answering clearly shows his acquiescence. Miss Yue, he ate human flesh and still wouldn't admit it. How can you marry someone so dishonest? Flower Fairy joined in. Ah! They're on Li Huchong's side. After you marry him, undoubtedly he would court other women behind your back. And when you ask him about it, when he gets home, I bet you he would deny everything all the same, Root Fairy predicted. And there's one more thing, a very dangerous thing I must add. Once he gets totally addicted to human flesh, when he sleeps with you on the same bed in the middle of the night, suddenly you wake up from the terrible pain coming from your fingers, while your ears are filled with the constant cracking sound from somebody chewing on something. And after you investigate further, guess what it is? It was little Lin chewing on your fingers, Flower Fairy added. Miss Yue, even when we include your toes, you've gotten only 20 digits altogether. Now when your little Lin chews a few today and a few tomorrow, your 10 fingers and 10 toes won't last very long at all, Leaf Fairy said. The Peach Valley 6 fairies had considered Ling Huchong a good friend ever since they first met him on top of the Mount Huashan. Although the 6 brothers always get tangled up in silly arguments, they certainly weren't stupid and had long noticed that what had been happening between Ling Huchong and Yue Lingshan. Yeah, I think we all noticed. Like how the waterside flower pined for love from the brook by sending the many shed petals, while the heartless brook simply babbles on unrequited love. So when they had finally caught the flaw in Lin Pingzhi's words, they spared no efforts, driving a wedge between Yue and Lin. You are just talking rubbish. I am not listening. I am not listening to any of it. Covering her ears with her hands, Yue Lingshan shouted. Miss Yue is quite alright if you really want to marry that little Lin, but if so, there's one special kung fu you've got to learn. This kung fu is going to be so important for you that if you miss the chance of learning it, I bet you that you are going to regret it for the rest of your life, Root Fairy exclaimed. What kung fu is that? Why is it so important for me? Noticing the sincerity in Root Fairy's voice, Yue Lingshan simply couldn't resist her curiosity, but asked, that night owl Ji Wushi has this kung fu called piece parts back into a whole art. Called piece parts back into a whole art, Root Fairy exclaimed. Now when little Lin eats all your ears, nose, fingers, and toes in the future, you don't have to worry no more. You can simply cut his stomach open and take those pieces out to put back onto your body, piecing parts back into a whole. Alright, done. That was chapter 15, part 2. Did you guys like it? Acquiescence? Well, acquiesce means to to agree to something. Like to grudgingly agree with something. Say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I can say that. Oh, you want me to sing that? That's very easy, you guys. Are you sure? Okay, so I guess we have 2 songs that I have to sing. Yeah, you guys can choose. So choose a song. Choose a song that I can karaoke to. It has to be a song that I know. And it has to be an English song. Okay? So pick a song. Read another. I think we're good for today. Yeah, the next chapter is pretty long. Bloop, 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 bloop. All right. You guys can choose or I can choose. If you guys choose, it'll be funnier because it's probably a song that I can't sing. Alright, I forgot how to do this. If I can just play the song on YouTube. Oh, you guys can't. Alright. I don't think I can play it on the main screen. So I just do like this. I'll play it off screen. The karaoke. Alright, Night Korea. WAP? I can't sing WAP. I don't know that song. You want me to sing that? I don't know that song though. It has to be a song that I know. It's the end of the world as we know it. I can do that one, I think. That's the only thing that's the only lyric that I know. WAP? I've only heard like 1/4 of that song. Then I stopped it. Oh, Spice Girls? Oh no. Yeah, karaoke shows the words, but it doesn't show the rhythm, right? No, it can't do it. Spice Girls? What about that Spice Girls song? What was it called? The old one. Wannabe? Wanna be my lover. Alright. Let's see if I can do that. Do I remember that song? Oh, Barbie Girl? I can do Barbie Girl. I do know that song. Alright. Paper Planes by MIA. I know that song too. Alright, are we doing Barbie Girl? Let's do it. Let's do it. Barbie Girl karaoke. Alright, YouTube. Show me the karaoke. Alright. Oh god. Right. This is an ad. Let me skip that. Hopefully you guys can hear the YouTube. Can you hear? Is it loud enough? Let me turn it louder. With a female voice. Ah! I'll try a female voice. Come on. Oh, this is gonna be so cringy. Hi, Ken. Sure, Ken. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. Blonde bimbo girl in a fantasy world. Dress me up, make it tight, I'm your dolly. Part. You can touch, you can play. If you say, I'm always yours. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. Yeah. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh. Yeah. Ooh, oh. Ooh, make me walk, make me talk, do whatever you please. I can act like a star, I can beg on my knees. You can touch, you can play. If you say, I'm always yours. You can touch, you can play. If you say, I'm always yours. Yeah. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh. Yeah. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. In a Barbie world, life in plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation. Yeah. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh. Yeah. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh. Oh, I'm having so much fun. Oh, I love you, Ken. Oh my god. That is staying off the internet, Jesus Christ. This song is actually very sexual. Well, you didn't know that? Oh. Alright, what the hell is next? What the fuck is next? Jesus Christ. Ooh, ooh, do, 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 do. Alright, one last song. Jesus. What is Paparazzi? I don't know that song though. Please don't edit this out from the replay. Oh god. What was the other song? Oh, Just a Girl is good from No Doubt. Alright, we can do Just a Girl or anything you guys suggest. Oh, take a drink first. Alright. We do have my fireball. Let me take a drink while you guys find a song. Oh, we can do Just a Doubt. Was the music loud enough? Or was my voice overpowering the music? My heavenly voice. Ah. Shit. What the hell, guys? I don't know any of these songs. I'm an old man. I don't know any of these songs. Serial Killer? What the hell is that? Nope. I don't know what Baby Shark is. I don't know what Raining Men is. My voice was like the roar of a lion-sized Barbie. Thank you, Mr. M, I think. I don't know what It's Raining Men is. Oh, welcome to the jungle? Okay. Oh, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Oh, God. He goes very high and very loud. Oh, you're back, you and Tom? Good job. Just in time for another song. Alright. Let's skip this ad here. Alright, this is Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the jungle. This is a classic. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Take it eventually. You can have anything you want, but you better not take it from me. In the jungle, welcome to the jungle. Watch it bring it to your knees. Knees? Wow! I can watch you bleed. And when you're high, you never ever wanna come down. So down, so down, so down. Yeah! Can't do it, can't do it. Yeah! Ow! Ow! Welcome to the jungle. I knew this solo was so long. This is for you, Mom.
You know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die. Whoa. Ow. In the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Watch it, bring it to your knees. Knees. In the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Feel my serpentine. In the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Watch it up to your knees. Knees. Welcome to the jungle. Watch it bring it to your. It's gonna bring you down. Ow!
There you go. I'm sorry for that. The mic got destroyed by my voice in the middle of that. Oh, you're welcome to dislike the video. Like, just do it. Oh, God. There you go. That was my punishment for not knowing the definitions to 2 words. And one of them was a typo. Alright, well, now that everyone's gone, thanks for joining, you guys. This was a short chapter, but I think the next one would be is pretty long. So we're good. Scarlett loved it. Yeah, I hope Scarlett Johansson saw that. She'll feel really hot for sure. Are we good? Are we good? All right, guys. Have I embarrassed myself enough? Who was really